Very cool. And we are live, everybody. We are from a brand new location, which I will not tell you where exactly, but Ed is here with me, and it's such a pleasure to have him because Ed is like a brother. We, we met in a mastermind and really got connected because Ed is so tech savvy and he knows how to put all the back end stuff to work, which is not my forte. But the thing is, Ed is the guy to really contact for that. But let me just give you a little introduction of who Ed is so that we can see his expertise here and we can explore just the knowledge that he's going to be dropping with us today. And, uh, Ed has worked with Apple. Right, so the dude has a technology background, but the thing is, for the last 15 years, he's worked with small businesses and nonprofits, everyone from solopreneurs all the way to local county organizations, helping them navigate the online space and understand how to show up more effectively and efficiently online. From designing websites and now doing live video production, Ed is a guy to go and make tech stupid easy and video marketing super simple. So Ed has helped clients improve their online appearance, also from their website to their social media profiles, standing in front of the camera live for the very first time and often many times. So, over the years, he's developed a unique framework, which he's going to share with us today, and just teach really busy professionals how to go live through his process and his awesome framework called the Live Advantage. The framework has helped his clients not only show up more comfortably, but confidently on camera and brought new leads in for the clients. That's what we want, essentially, right? Is the work we want to put out there. We want to make sure that we're getting some type of ROI, whether it's clients, like he's done for Tabitha, or bringing in them, growing their email list and just growing the lead generation. So it is my privilege, my duty, and my obligation and my honor to bring Ed today on to teach us a bit more about how to go live and how to generate and gain more business and leads with live video. So, Ed, welcome, brother.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to see you guys on the chats as well as on the replay, because that's the beauty of live, is that you can join us during the live and afterwards. So it's super cool to be here. Thank you so much.
100%, man. If you're catching this, please use hashtag live. If you're catching this on a replay, please hashtag replay. But Ed, I would love for you to share your story. You've had quite an amazing journey. We're coming from Apple and then going into the solopreneur journey and now helping out. We got real estate professionals, we got coaches, we got small business owners. Like, share your wisdom. Drop it.
It has been an amazing journey, and I love being able to help entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, I consider every single one of us who owns a business an entrepreneur, and that we have so many commonalities between all of us, and we all go through the same struggles. They just may look a little differently. And so it's an honor for me to be able to help someone even just a little bit experience something different, especially when it comes on to online. Online and tech don't always mix well for a lot of people. And I've been given a gift to make it stupid easy for people and just really break it down to its simplest form. And also being able to have us take a step back and look at the bigger picture, because sometimes we get so focused on, well, I have to show up, on Instagram because Instagram is so key. Everyone's on it, and it's something that I enjoy actually posting versus, let's say, Facebook. No shade about Instagram, and doesn't mean that your business isn't going to work on Instagram. But when we take a step back and look at statistics and being able to look at the different platforms, there may be a reason why you're not getting the traction that you had hoped for on, let's say, Instagram versus somewhere like Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever else. So it's really not only listening to what the hotspots are and maybe why people are showing up there, but also knowing more of the statistics behind it and if that fits your demographic. So of course, knowing your audience. But that's how I got started, is knowing my audience, knowing that I am here to serve small business owners, those who are solopreneurs, those who are, small teams that just really want to make an impact online, who are really trying to stand out, break through that noise without pulling out all their hair and being stressed out all the time, and really have a presence online that allows them to stay relevant, because that is key, especially today and moving forward. I want you to be the next Netflix, not the next Blockbuster. We all know what happened to Blockbuster. It was great. It was an amazing business, but look what happened to it. It's because it didn't stay on top of things. It didn't stay relevant. It didn't keep up with the times, and we need to make sure that we're doing it. I probably should change that quote, by the way, to the next Hulu, because I'm loving Hulu these days more so than my Netflix, but that's a whole different story.
Got it. Yeah, for like, I love how you changed the analogy. It's like just going a little off tangent. Like, I've been having a lot of contact with my dad, and he's like, "We need a smart TV." I was like, "No, you just got to buy this little power stick and just stick it in there, and then it'll make it a smart TV." So it's like stepping into innovation, right? And the best part is, you've been doing this prior to COVID. So it's not like you're one of those marketing people that are like, "Oh, COVID, okay, yeah, I need to do like a service-based business, online business." But you've been doing this.
Yeah.
And you've been putting in your body of work to help the people prior to COVID. And just want to hear a little bit about those stories. Like, how have those clients and business owners transformed when they were ready for something like when COVID hit and all the lockdowns started happening?
Yeah, that's the beauty of what I get to do every day before COVID, but especially now, is that I get to open up that door to opportunities, even if it's just a small crack, to all the things that are possible here online with live streaming is where I push people to, and educate on. But even if you're not there yet, because you will be, because you can do this, we have to know that it's possible for you to show up on camera, as you all probably have experienced by now, whether you're going live on Facebook, live in a Zoom call, maybe you're streaming on YouTube, wherever it is, chances are by now you've been in front of a camera and with other people online. And so it's really important to understand that that's the four walls, maybe the box that you're currently in. And now we want to expand that and really have you think outside of that box. So let's take the Zoom experience for a minute. Zoom is more like the office, right? And you're going in and you're probably surrounded by the people that you know, or maybe you're at a networking event, but it's more of a container and it feels a little bit safer. But that's our first step. What we want to do, because you're a business owner, is we want to make sure that, one, you're aware that there's a bigger picture, which is live streaming, and two, that you can later take your device, your phone, computer, whatever you're comfortable with, and start to stream through Facebook. Most of the other channels have live streaming too. I'm just going to refer to Facebook. There's a bigger strategy there, but let's just keep it simple, Facebook. And so that, just knowing that, opens up a whole new avenue for you for your marketing purposes, for being able to connect with your audience, even if you're starting at zero. If you are trying to build a stronger relationship with your audience and the communities that you serve, both in person and online, live streaming is going to help you with that. It's going to help you grow both professionally with getting leads and having those conversations that are going to lead to more opportunities, such as speaking gigs as well as sales. And then it's also going to help you personally. It's going to build your confidence. It's going to help you figure out the right things to say, when to say them, be put on the spot, whether it's in person or online, and be able to just run with it. That's the beauty of live streaming. And what I've been able to do pre-COVID and what I started my business with is live streaming. I mostly started it for myself in the beginning because that's when I first was doing web design stuff. And again, I got into business because I wanted to help business owners show up online. I wanted it to be easier for them to have a website that they knew looked good, felt good to them, and that they could even, get this, manage it themselves if they wanted to. Because most of us want to be able to have some kind of control and be able to at least know what to do on our own should we have to do it. And so that's how I got started. And then because I started my business, I thought, how am I going to stand out online? Like, what am I going to be able to do that's going to be different? Because no one's going to care who Ed is. No one's going to care what I have to say or what I'm doing unless I find something that helps me market myself differently. And so that's when live streaming came out. And that's when I decided to jump in and test it, because I've always been a step ahead, right? Ahead of the curve there. And tech's my thing. So I really wanted to get good at it. And it just started to snowball. It was amazing with how it connected me with new people. I had met people in the UK, and they were tuning into my lives. And even though it was midnight at their time, I was helping people connect with each other, learn about technology, learn about business. And then I got to start bringing people onto my show and have them as guests. And that's where the magic started to really happen, because I was able to have people come onto my show for the very, very first time that they would be in front of the camera live. Nervous as can be, right? And it just freaks you out. And I knew that if I could get them to just say yes, that they would be okay. And they were. And that's when one of my favorites, Vicky, she was terrified, and she got on camera with me. We did the whole show. She did great. I told her afterwards, go watch it, and you're not going to think that you did as bad as you think you did. And she watched it, and she's like, you're right. It wasn't as bad as I thought. And from there, it took off for her. She started to sell her products online using live streaming. She started going live in other people's groups. She had started going live on her own page. So it wasn't just in a group, but publicly on a page. And get this, she even now, Vicky, if you're watching, I love it. If you ever see Vicky online, you will be amazed, because she just started doing TikTok videos not too long ago. And I found one the other day where she was moving around like a chicken, and it was hilarious. And I couldn't believe it was the same person that I had met a few years ago, who was terrified of the camera. So it's things like that that just light me up. And I just love being able to help you get in front of the camera and experience that, because it changes the game for everything.
Got it, man. Just some of the comments. I think Jamile said, when you say live streaming, it's Facebook and YouTube lives, or?
Great question. So yes, so live streaming in general, that could be anything from Zoom. A Zoom can basically be a live stream. You got Facebook Live, you got YouTube Live, you got LinkedIn Live, if you're lucky enough to get approved for it. You got, there's other platforms out there like Twitch and some other things. So the main ones that we'll focus on here and that you want to be mostly concerned about for the majority of us is going to be Facebook Live. And then you have, of course, Instagram Live and YouTube Live. But I'm going to keep pushing Facebook Live, not because I absolutely love Facebook and it's the best thing in the world. We know we have that love-hate relationship, right? Just like anything. But because it's a part of the bigger picture when we talk about marketing online.
Got it. Right. And yeah, love-hate relationship. I was actually in Facebook jail a couple weeks ago, so totally get it. You touched upon a lot of the advantages that you have with live, right? That it's kind of unprompted, right? It's just like, boom, you're there. The emotions are real. The connections are real. The questions that are coming in are real. They're tuning in from all over the place. Why would you suggest live over a pre-recorded video?
Oh, I love this question. All right. So, as you guys can see, I'm such a nerd because I love this stuff. But that's why we love it, right? Because it's stuff that gets us passionate and it helps us with putting out that energy and that positivity that we need. And so the difference between pre-recorded and live, because I know some of you are thinking, well, Ed, I'll just skip the live. I'm okay with being on camera. I'll just pre-record and I'll upload and done. We're good. I don't need to be live. I don't need to worry about making mistakes or having something fall or whatever. So I want you to back up. Remember, my job is to help you take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Yes, you can do pre-recorded. At the end of the day, I will take whatever video content you have over no video content, okay? So let's just put that on the table. Step one is to create video content. If it's pre-recorded, that's fine. But the problem with pre-recorded is, one, you're going to do more work. Now you might be thinking, how am I going to do more work if it's pre-recorded? Because you're going to record, you're going to mess up, you're going to rewatch it, you're going to say, nope, we got to take another take, and you're going to keep taking. And 40 takes later, you'll come up with the perfect clip, or at least a decent clip because you're tired and you don't want to do any more. And then you're going to post that. And then I'm going to come around and say, hey, you got to go live, do all this video content. And you're going to say, Ed, it takes too much time to create videos. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to post something with a text and some photos. Just call it done. I'm going to say, no, wait. You're doing too much. The problem with pre-recorded and what we think about video production from back in the day is that it has to be this big production. We have to have a full day of filming. We have to have a whole crew. We have to have all the things, all the bells and whistles, right? But we don't. And so why I love live so much, besides all the things that we talked about, is that you go live and it's in real time. All you need to know is your talking point, your topic and your 3 talking points, and you're good. Once you do that and you're live, your brain switches over. And it's in that survival mode. And you are going to show up as your best self because you know you're live. You know that you don't get another take at this. And so there's something to be said about just that mental aspect of pre-recorded versus live. And I will tell you that pre-recorded is so much harder and takes so much more time. I personally hate pre-recorded, doing it for myself because I'm so used to going live. And so that's just on that level. Now, the second part to that question here to answer it is that when we look at the bigger picture, because remember, I told you to step back. When you look at that bigger picture, you have to look at where are you going to be posting this video. If it's on social media, and again, we're going to talk about Facebook here, just keep things simple. What does Facebook want from us? They want us to go live. They don't want us to upload. I mean, you can, and again, anything is better than nothing. But when you're really trying to get the most bang for your buck, in any case here, it's go live, which is why I'm so into and promoting Facebook Live, is because you're pressed for time. You're trying to get in front of the most amount of people you can. You're trying to have your content live on past the short shelf life of just posting and then it's gone. And when we check out all of those things that we're trying to accomplish, and not to mention we want to repurpose things later, it only makes sense that once we know what the platform wants and what we should be doing, that live streaming is the answer to our questions, and that it can solve pretty much all the problems that we're thinking about. And being able to do one action, which is go live, with a plan. You got to have a plan, but go live with a plan, and then boom, you're done within a few minutes, depending on how long you want your live to be. So I know that was a long answer, but basically between pre-recorded and live, it's the difference of what do the platforms want that you're going to be showing up at, and it actually takes less time to go live than it does to create pre-recorded videos.
100%. Thank you for answering. And Jamile said 3 points. Got it. Always forget why I'm on when I see people and getting off when commenting. Is there a max time? Is what she asked.
No. The question that always comes up is, when's the best time to post and how long should I be going live for? And the short answer is it depends. It honestly depends on you, your schedule, your audience, the time of day that they're showing up. Here's the thing. We get so caught up with the numbers in terms of, how many likes, how many follows, how many views, and then when's the best day and time to go post, that we forget we actually have to take action. So what I mean by that is it's great to know, let's say 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon is the best time for you to go live. But if your schedule only allows you to go live at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, well, guess what? You're going to go live at 9 a.m. because your goal here is to take action, to actually go live. And then from there, you can make other arrangements for posting at 2 o'clock, something else. Maybe it's a clip from that live or whatever it may be. But understand that everything starts with you, and you have to find what day and time works for you in showing up and creating that content. Because if you don't, well, then it's never going to work, and it's never going to matter what best day and time is for sharing your content. Got it.
Awesome answer. It's whenever you are on there, right? People will tune in, and it'll get its views. It'll get the views that it's there for, and show up for the people that are ready to receive it at that moment. I loved how you touched upon showing up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So show up, deliver, engage. Those are my 3 core values that I love teaching you. So if you learn nothing else from me today, I want you to learn this, and I want you to write it down, put it on a Post-it if you need to, put it on your phone, screensaver. 3 things that you have to do to be successful in life. It's only 3 things. Show up, which obviously if you're here right now, check, you've done that. Deliver. So for some of you, you're commenting, which is great. So you're delivering something. And then you're engaging. Same thing in this case, you're commenting and connecting with one another. I see you guys are seeing each other here in the chat, which is awesome. But the 3 keys to success in anything that you do is going to be show up, deliver, and engage. So when you're thinking about video content and possibly going live, because you're going to, is what can you do? 1, you can show up. So you know that you're going to go live on Tuesday at 9 a.m. because that's the only available time slot in your schedule. Great. What are you going to deliver? What's your topic? What's your 3 talking points? Awesome. Now that you have those, you go live, you share that content. Then when people engage with your content, whether it's during the live or the replay, you take that follow-up action. Remember, follow-up is key. You go into the comments and you engage. You have a conversation with them, even if it's after the live is over. It's okay. Follow up. Once you do those 3 things, your goals, everything else will fall into place. But you have to be able to check the box for all 3 of those in order to be successful in anything that you do, especially online.
100%. And Jamile, she's a relationship coach, and she's like, perfect for relationships too. Show up, deliver, and engage, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, sometimes we forget what we're gonna talk about when we go up, right? So what would you say would be another pre-game ritual that could help us go live and just get ready for it and primed for it?
Well, you can do a little dance. That's definitely going to help you out a lot, because let's face it, again, we get so caught up in the numbers and what are we going to talk about? What if something happens? Listen, you guys, I've had my phone, for whatever reason, I can't even remember how it happened, but I had my phone. I was holding it one time and I was live. It dropped. It fell to the ground. It was super embarrassing. In my head, like, I can't believe I just did that. I'm still live. My brain triggered, because again, survival, right? My brain triggered and I immediately picked up the phone, acted like nothing happened, and just going. I didn't plan that. It's just what my brain knew to do, because it experienced a crisis. Something happened and it knew that we needed to react, and we needed to react quickly. Your brain is going to do the same thing. You can play it off if you need to. The beauty of live streaming and why it's so popular and why people are more likely to tune into your lives than any of your other content is because it's reality. And if we look at TV, we know that reality shows, love it or hate it, they're popular. They have been ever since they came out. And it's, as human nature, we're nosy. And we want to know what everyone else is doing. We want to be able to be up in everyone's business and see all the craziness. And so it's okay if things happen. Parents who are listening, you got kids, if they're going to run in the background, that's fine. It's going to happen. We've seen it with news anchors. Talking about the pandemic earlier, I loved how, if any of you watched either news or morning talk shows or anything like that, when the pandemic hit, it hit everyone, right? And everyone had to adapt. And the beauty of it, and this is what I love about being able to research, right, is that I got to see these professional talk shows that all the camera work and everything that you see normally, they had to go back to square one with a webcam, some with their phones. They had their earbuds. They had to be in cramped places, no beautiful backgrounds. It made them real. And it made people want to tune in and see that it's not going to be glamorous. They didn't have their full-on makeup team. They didn't have, the studio setup. And that's the beauty of it, is it allowed everyone to see that it all works as long as you show up, deliver, and engage with your audience. That's all that matters. Everything else is just extra.
Got it. And that's I believe the biggest lesson that I guess this season of life is showing. It's like it's cool if they see all your success. It's cool that they see the polished lifestyle. It's cool that whatever, but no one connects with that. Where the connection comes is in the vulnerability, in the struggle. They want to see that end of it. They want to hear a dog barking while we're talking here. This is what they really want to engage with, because it's happening. It's real. And because of that, that's where connection is made. That's where they get to see the real you.
Yes. And we have to remember that we're all business owners. We're all trying to sell something, right? Product, service, whatever it is. And even if we're online, there's somebody on the other side of the screen. There's a human being. And we know that humans like to buy from humans. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And so the quickest way for you to build an authentic relationship and to build up that know, like, trust factor quickly is through live streaming video, because you can't hide. You can't hide behind a perfectly polished Instagram photo. Like, people are going to see your flaws. They're going to see that you're real at some point. And so it's really important to know that that's okay. We all have our uniqueness. And we all have opportunities to work on different things with different people, and the partnerships, the collaborations that come from live streaming is amazing. It really does wonders for you and your business.
And I agree 100%. It's like, you know, I forgot which interview I heard it from. They're like, okay, who is the CEO of Apple? Right? Or who do you think of when you think of Apple as their CEO? It's like, oh, Steve Jobs, or yeah, Steve Jobs. That's like the first thing. Okay, when you think of Microsoft, right? And it's like Bill Gates, right? Granted, he's not in the best place right now, but and then they're like, what about IBM? And everyone's like, I don't know. And the reason is because Apple and Microsoft, they deal directly to the client.
Yes.
With IBM, it's business to business, so they don't have that human connection with the live video. So stuff like that, that's where live video would really tune in and really help them, you know, give them that human essence, give them that human emotion to really connect with people that are looking for their services or buying their services or product.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, you know, you bring up a great point that even if you're business to business and you're thinking, yeah, I don't really need to have, you know, an active online social presence, and I don't really need to go live for certain things, let me just stop you for a second and really have you think about the bigger picture here. Our world, even before COVID, is online. Like that, before it was optional for some, you know, who didn't really connect over, you know, and start using social. Now it's required. And even if you have a position where you're thinking, I don't really need to be active on social, I don't need to be doing the live stuff, I want you to really think about how could you be more active and why you should be doing the live stuff, because you really need to build up a solid foundation for yourself, your personal brand, right? And you really need to stay in the loop, if nothing else, so that your skills are still sharp, that you're still aware of what's happening in the world, what's going on with the technology. Because the worst thing that could happen is that something changes in your life and forces you to get back online. And now you're starting at square one if you didn't keep up with everything. And it's extremely hard because things change so fast. And I don't want you to be left behind. Like that's how I got into everything that I do. You know, my mom worked at a typical 8 to 5, and she was on a computer all day long, but she did not know how to use Google. She did not know how to use an iPad or an iPhone at that point. And that was crushing me, because there's this whole world that she hasn't experienced yet, that she hasn't been able to explore. Yet she's been on a computer for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And it's like, what? How is that possible? So it doesn't matter whatever job you're in, whether you're working full-time for yourself or you're doing a side thing while you're working at a 9 to 5. I want you to make sure that you're constantly doing what you're doing right now. You're tuning into someone's live stream. You're scanning social media, not just for, you know, friend and family posts, but for education around business and being online and knowing what's available to you, because there is going to be a time that, if it's not already for you, where you need to step it up. You need to make sure that you know what tools and resources are at your fingertips, and you need to know that video is key for everything that you do, no matter where you're at, whether it's internal for the business or external or both. Video is key. Again, it brings you front and center. It brings that personal touch, and it's the way that you're going to stand out. And believe it or not, it's the way that people are going to get to know you, even on your website, before they ever reach out to you. You know, if you have a video on a landing page, your conversion rate increases by over 80%. So understand that video is key and that you want to start adding video to your website if you have yet to do so.
Got it. Repeat that again. 80% of conversions happen when there's a video on your landing page.
Yes, it's so important because, again, we have the statistic before COVID was 97% of people research you before they ever contact you. I'm going to probably just bump it to 99% because these days that's what it is. 99% of people are researching you before they ever contact you. What does that mean? That means that they are either hearing about you word of mouth or they found you through Google. They're going to do one of two things: click on your website and go to your social afterwards, or go to your social and then look for your website. So again, I want you to make this note. Check that your website is, one, that you have one, two, that it's working, and three, you link to it on your social profiles. I can't tell you how many times I go to someone's social profile and I see their social media, which is great. I see that they'll send me somewhere else, but what I don't see is a link to their website. And you're missing out on business. So make sure that you have that going. And then here's a bonus, because it's been happening a lot to people and I don't want you to miss out on business, as well as having someone look at you a little funny because your links aren't working. When you are on your website, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor and check your main links. Make sure your homepage works, make sure your contact page works, make sure your schedule a call with you link works. Listen, things break all the time. It's not your fault. We just need to make sure that you're checking them on a more regular basis, because you are missing out on those leads. And I don't want you to miss out on those leads and those sales.
Wise words, man. Karen's shared, guilty of the website being a missing link.
I know. And that's why I say, it happens to us all. I can be preaching this all day long, and then somebody could go to my site and somehow randomly a link would be broken because of an update or something. It happens all the time. It's fine, but I'm glad that you're here and that you are making note to go check yours and then make sure all those links are working. And if you do go to someone's site and something doesn't work, if they have a chat option or you know them on social, do them a favor and just let them know, because chances are they don't know. They didn't check, and you doing that goes the extra mile. There's that engagement part, right? Now you're going to stand out in their mind a little bit more than you would have before.
100%, man. Quickly, I know you have the Live Advantage framework. Would love to just hear the 5 steps that you walked the client through, and what are just some of the awesome outcomes from it?
Yeah, definitely. So I like to frame everything like a TV show. So when I'm working with someone, and sorry, I was just clicking over onto the site, and there was something changed over there. But when you are working on your live show, I frame everything as a show, because it really makes it, one, fun, and two, it's easy for us to compare to what's already out there, what's already established, whether it's a show that you watch on TV or on Hulu or Netflix. There's always a season and there's always episodes. So that's where I frame everything around inside the Live Advantage framework. And so it's really about developing your show. Like, what's the mindset that you have to go through? I work on mindset up front because it's really, really important to make sure that you're in the right mindset, because at the end of the day, you can do this. Just like when it comes to losing weight, right? We all can lose weight if we're in the right mindset, because at the end of the day, it's not going to just magically happen if we say, I want to lose weight. We have to mentally prepare ourselves for it. So I work on development. Then we go into pre-production. So again, the 5 steps all ties into creating your show, because the goal here is to have you show up more consistently online. So it's not just to go live, because again, everyone can go live. Like you can pick up your device, hit that button, and go live. What I like to do is help you be more strategic with it so that you can be more effective and have it last longer, right? It's not just that eat a few salads and you're going to drop a few pounds and be set. It's what's that meal prep that you're going to have that works with your schedule that allows you to continue to keep up that momentum and also be comfortable with yourself and be more you. So it's not just a strategy that hopefully you'll implement someday. It's something that you're actually going to take and run with and build it into who you are and be able to shine more. Because you can have all of the scripts and templates that you want from any program, but they're not going to help you if you don't feel comfortable with them and you don't allow yourself to be you online. So we have development, we have the pre-production, which allows you to start planning your content. Then we go into the actual production work, that's learning the tech and then being able to go live. And then we talk about the post-production, any kind of editing that you need to do afterwards before we dive into the distribution. Distribution is where you're going to share it on other platforms. Again, we took one action and then we're going to make sure to share that out in different areas. So we'll be distributing it across multiple channels. So that's really what the Live Advantage framework is. 5 easy steps. We have development, pre-production, we have production, then we have the post-production and distribution. And it's really straightforward and makes your life so much easier, not only for live streaming, but for your content marketing in general, wherever you show up online. I was going
to say, you saw my dad walk in and whatever, that was not stage or whatever it is.
It was planned. It was planned.
It's craziness in this place right now. But I dropped a link so that they could find you and that they could find more information about, you know, the Live Advantage framework. Would just love to hear 2 questions. First question, what advice would you give for coaches just starting out or that are looking to become coaches?
Yes. My first initial response, I had to stop and pause because I was like, is this the right first answer? My first one is go live. But we have to pull you back a little bit because you're not there yet, right? You're not mentally prepared for that. And so what you want to do is research. You want to make sure that you research. What is it that you want to do? What problem are you going to be solving? And once you know that, then it's, okay, what topics can I talk about? What topics do I know I can talk about? And then you just start writing those down. And then you can start sharing those. And then that's when you can start sharing those live. But we really need to make sure that when you're just starting out, you really want to just start writing things down. What do you know? Because you know a lot. There's a lot going on up here and you're overthinking it. So just write it down and make a list. And it doesn't have to all be done in one sitting at one time in one day. Give yourself some grace time, a grace period, and allow yourself to just let it flow. And I highly, highly recommend pen and paper because that's where your creative natural flow will happen versus looking at a computer and trying to type something out. You're going to get frustrated. So try to remove the tech in the beginning and just let it flow with pen and paper.
Awesome. And thank you. Getting back to the basics, right?
It really comes back to the basics. You know, a lot of people come to me and they want to start with the tech part, you know, what camera, what light kit, what microphone, you know, all of the awesome things. But here's the secret. If you start with all of those, are they really going to help you go live? Probably not, because you still haven't gone live and you have that $200 microphone just sitting in the box. So I have to help you take a step back and look at not only the bigger picture, but understand mentally what's going on and address those concerns and be able to go through those exercises with the mindset part before you can start introducing the tech. And so basics is key for everything here.
Got it. And it's funny that you bring up the mindset. I was just having a talk with one of my mentors, and he's like, it's cool if you give the tools to your clients first. But the thing is, just think of it kind of as this analogy. And for some odd reason, he's like, if you give a monkey a razor blade, is that the right thing? And I'm just like, that's a really like graphic analogy, right? And then he's like, they could harm themselves and they could harm others too. So it's get the mindset right. Have the foundation on that first before you start handing them the tools that they know how to utilize and become experts in it.
True.
The second question is, what kind of impact would you like to have in the world?
Oh, the one that I feel like I'm already experiencing, where people get to start. They get to start showing up and being more themselves online. You know, it's extremely hard for us to do that, both online and in person. I mean, I'll tell you, I may be doing all of this all the time, and it has helped me in person, but I'm still pretty shy when I'm in person, and I don't know people around me. Like, I'm not just walking up to random people and being like, hey, what's happening? Let's start talking. You know, that's just not how I am in person if I don't know people. And so what I love about seeing people go through the live experience and have this live advantage in their pocket is that light bulb goes off. I get to see them smiling in person, through the video, of course, online, like in my newsfeed. I get to see people that I never would have seen before show up on camera and be themselves and share their knowledge. And then what takes that to that whole next level is when I start to see people commenting on their lives. They just open up the door. You know, I mentioned Vicky before. It was just helping her get in front of the camera, and she started going live in different places. But what I didn't mention was she started inspiring others within her community who would have never touched live streaming or gotten in front of the camera. And they started to go live. That's what I call the live effect, right? And so we all have our uniqueness, and we have a gift that we need to share. And when we show up in front of the camera live, we're allowing our voice to be heard. We're sharing our voice with others, and that inspires, motivates, and empowers others to do the same for themselves. And that is the impact that I love to be able to see, is that live effect, is just being able to help one another shine in the online space, because we all have our audience out there. We all have somebody who is waiting to hear from us. We just need to show up, deliver, and engage in order to make that happen.
Awesome. And where can they find you?
Yeah, so just my name, edtroxell.com. That's Ed, Troxell.com. That has all my socials there. You can chat with me anytime. And of course, you'll be able to see videos on my site, because I told you got to put videos on your site. So anytime, head over there. And I also do have a free content marketing masterclass for download over there. So if you're curious a little bit more about social, I actually include the statistics that I kind of talked about earlier. There's some cool graphics in there around where you should be showing up, and it might be different than where you currently are showing up. So definitely take a look at that.
Value bomb indeed. So edtroxell.com. And dude, thank you so much for showing up today. You showed up, you delivered, and you engaged like crazy. And so many value bombs here. You know, it's not only social, it's not only live, you know, it's like, go check your website, make sure that that thing is also working too,
Yes.
so that it's also working. And you know, it just brings up the human element and going live and showing, you know, like my dad going back and forth, like a dog barking and stuff like that. This is life, you know, and this is what makes us connect, and this is what brings us together. And you're doing an awesome job just bringing it all together, packaging it up, creating a ripple effect of live people going live. So
Yes.
thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And, you know, as you mentioned, people coming in and out of the room, right? Things happening. It didn't stop us from showing up today and dropping all of this knowledge. It didn't stop you all from tuning into this episode, whether it's during the live or the replay, to tune in and also pull away some of this these golden nuggets. So again, take this experience that you just had and understand that now you can go and do that yourself, and you should, and it's okay. Don't wait for things to be perfect. One, they're never going to be perfect, and two, it's not reality. People want to see people, and they want it to be real. So be more real online.
100%. Go to edtroxell.com, grab that, you know, that masterclass. I'm going to grab it because I want to see what Ed kind of put together here, right? So definitely. Thank you so much for joining us today in the Luminary Coaches group. Definitely follow Ed at edtroxell.com, coachesgolive.com, and definitely reach out to him. He is a heart-centered, just an awesome dude to really connect with, so that he'll drop wisdom, just to help. You know, it's just who Ed is, and that's the reason why I wanted him on as a guest, because the dude is so genuine.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So until next time, take care.